Did you do a welcome to the show?
I never do a
Welcome to
welcome.
the show.
Do I do a welcome to the show?
No,
I've
actually
only seen
never.
like 2 of your videos.
Today we're here visiting with Florian. Florian has been a member of the church since December. What other things are about you?
I'm German, which leads
Oh.
us to aviation.
He's currently a student at Leipzig University in studying theology.
Lutheran Protestant theology.
And he's here today to tell us about how he came to learn about the church and his experience with it. What's your childhood experience with religion?
I grew up in a Protestant family, Lutheran Protestant family, so I always knew what church is about and what church in general is like. So religion is nothing really new to me.
And that's pretty different than it is in Germany in general. Most people aren't very religious at all.
One of the first things I can remember is this episode on South Park, which is not really helpful, but yeah, this is the first thing I ever remember. And the next thing is a documentary in the German TV talking about missionaries and what they do. So this was the first thing I ever heard about the church. But when it really got serious, it was the Book of Mormon was one of the first things ever I knew about the church. I have this friend in our theology class, in one of our classes, and he had this Book of Mormon, and he knew that I wanted to read more about Jesus, more about God, more about the gospel in general. And he got his book, his copy from 2 missionaries in Brandenburg, but he didn't want to read it, so he passed it on to me. I had this good feeling all the time while reading this book, and but it was nothing special. There was no choir of angels or fireworks, but it was this good feeling throughout the book. I did some research, parallel to while reading the book. I remember this one day we had another class in our faculty where we learn about different churches, not different religions, but churches in Christianity. And there was this one guy, this bishop from a ward near Leipzig, and he was talking about the church and how the church, about church history and about prophets and modern day prophecy. And this was pretty amazing because this is what I was believing for years. Because I always believed in modern prophecy. I never believed in Trinity. He told us about that there's the temple, because he talked a lot about the temple, and he said that there's an open house. And so this is where I decided to go there, and I took my dad with me, and we went to the temple in Freiburg. Though it wasn't rededicated at the time, it was special. Immediately when I entered the temple, I felt the spirit, and the best feeling was when I entered the celestial room. He gave me his email address, so we wrote several emails. And then I asked him if I could get a copy of Doctrine and Covenants 2 and Pearl of Great Price, and he immediately sent it to me. Actually, he brought it to me. He came down from his hometown to Leipzig to give me the copy by himself. That was cool. That was amazing. At first, I just had contact with him. Mm-hmm. I don't know, maybe I was too shy to contact the missionaries, but I wanted to read all the scriptures before I talked to the missionaries.
So you read them then?
I read them, all of them. And then I contacted the missionaries. I remember our first meeting, and I still have my fancy questions about Hebrew stuff from the Old Testament, which kind of shocked them maybe, but they did a good job. I always had this thought in my mind that if it's true, then I have to join it, because I always wanted to be so close to God, as close as possible. So if it's true, this is the way. And when I finished the Book of Mormon, I kind of got my answer. At first I didn't really recognize it, but I got my answer then. But I wanted to listen to the lessons from the missionaries at first. And there was another thing I wanted to do, because I'm married, and so I wanted to be baptized together with my wife.
And at this point, she wasn't taking the lessons with you?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she obviously knew you were meeting with the missionaries. Did you talk to her about it at all?
Every day when I came home, I told her, hey, you gotta read it, it's so amazing, or come with me, talk to the elders, or talk to the sisters if you like to. But in the beginning, she didn't really like to do it. I guess she had some concerns about it, was not really sure, because it sounds like something new. It's like a new religion. It actually is nothing really new. It is all there in the Old and New Testament. It was because of me telling her every single day to please read this book. But I also fasted for her to grow her experience, to grow in her faith, and to read the Book of Mormon.
At this point, you'd kind of already got your answer slowly through the whole process, and you'd come to a conviction that it was true. She didn't have that at this point. So what was able to make that shift or that change?
I guess it was through her prayer, because at that point she didn't finish the Book of Mormon, but she kept praying as I and the missionaries told her. And I remember this evening, I've been through the basketball training. When I came back, she told me, hey, I have to talk to you. I made this incredible experience. And then she told me her story. She finished her daily chapter that she wanted to read, and prayed to God. And then she felt like as if someone would sit right next to her, warm presence, giving her peace and shelter from all the trouble. And like as if this spirit would put his or her arm around her and give her peace and a good feeling. And I had a pretty bad day. The basketball training was not that good. I didn't hit any of the shots. So, but then I came home and she told me that story, and immediately the day was perfectly fine again.
So very quickly after that, we had your baptism scheduled. You were baptized. Kind of what happened from there on out?
We got to meet thousands of new people, and it was so amazing. Every weekend we've been to another member's house, sharing our stories, bearing testimony, and learning so fast, so much more. It was incredible. Emily is the secretary of the primary, and I'm the second counselor of the young men. This one day, in a stake conference, Emily and I had to give a speech, a short talk. It was not my first talk in the church, but it was definitely Emily's first talk, and that was pretty amazing because the audience was full of people. It was 700 people been there, and that was amazing. That was a good experience. But the Spirit totally helped us to get through the situation and calm us down and helped us delivering the speech we wanted to deliver. Also ich möchte einfach aus meiner Erfahrung raus sagen, dass ich weiß, dass die Kirche wahr ist, dass Gott lebt, dass Jesus lebt und dass der Heilige Geist bei uns ist. Ich kann Zeugnis davon geben, dass das Buch Mormon wahr ist und dass es uns einfach so viel geholfen hat, dieses Buch zu lesen und bei uns zu haben. Wir haben eine neue Familie gefunden in der Gemeinde und es ist einfach so ein gutes Gefühl, einfach so getragen zu werden von so vielen Mitgliedern auf der ganzen Welt. Bei uns zu Hause in Deutschland, jetzt auch hier in Amerika. Und ich habe es einfach für mich gemerkt und auch Emily hat es für sich gemerkt, dass diese Kirche wahr ist. Und das möchte ich einfach am liebsten allen erzählen. Die Arbeit, die die Missionare machen, ist so wunderbar und das kann ich einfach nur sagen im Namen Jesu Christi. Amen.